Hello, it is I. Now recently I made a video about things you probably didn't know about Forza Horizon 5, which mainly consisted of useless facts which you genuinely did not need to know about the game. But after making that video, I learned so many new things about Forza Horizon 5 which are genuinely helpful. They're tips and tricks which can literally help anybody in the game. And that is why I created this video. As here are 10 useful hacks you probably didn't know about Forza Horizon 5. Keyword probably. But just before we get into this video, let's hit 4,000 likes if you want me to make more videos just like this one. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into this video. Now, have you ever struggled writing text on your car, lining up the letters, matching the size, etc, etc? Well, so did I, until a subscriber of mine told me about this trick. As instead of spending your time placing individual letters, you can instead press the cross on your Xbox controller, then type in the text that you want to write. This could be a single word or a whole sentence. Then afterwards, a vinyl layer is created with that text for you to put onto your car, which is very, very handy. It's so much quicker than the old method of lining up individual letters, getting a size right, etc, etc. So yep, that's a genuinely useful trick which could really help out with creating designs. Hey, that was actually pretty good, you know. Now of course in Forza Horizon 5, you get many cars with pop-up headlights, but there is one big problem. You can't turn on the headlights in the game on demand, meaning you can't pop up and down your headlights, which is very, very sad. Or can't you? Well, it turns out that there is a way to activate headlights on demand regardless of whether the car has pop-up headlights or conventional ones. The way you do this is by finding a tunnel somewhere on the map. Now you could of course drive into the tunnel and open the headlights there, but this method is a little bit better. As instead of driving inside, you can pan the camera until it looks like you're looking at the car from inside the tunnel. And would you look at that? The headlights open up in the sunlight. How cool is that? Now of course this works in every car in the game, so make sure to try this out. And also I've got to give a shout out to the channel Goosiest, because without this video I'd have no idea you'd be able to do this, I can't lie. Now you can take pictures of your car outside in the open, and even inside in the festival, but can you take pictures of your car inside your car as well? Well, it turns out that you can. It's a glitch / feature I discovered way back in Forza Horizon 5, which amazingly still works to this day. So how exactly do you do this? Well, firstly, enter Horizon Solo, then stay still in your car for around 10 seconds, then reverse your car about half a car's distance, then rewind to the point that you start to move back, then go into view replay. Hold the right trigger very gently and at the same time, enter photo mode. Then move your camera until it's touching the rear bumper of your car, then let go of the left thumbstick. Your car will hopefully start to reverse into your camera, meaning you can now use photo mode inside your car, which is very, very nice. Now, a lot of people were very happy to see the E46 M3 GTR in Forza Horizon 5, as it was of course the most wanted 05 cover car. So many people love this car because in Need for Speed it sounded incredible. What a sound. But in Forza Horizon 5, it sounds good, but there's no mechanical whine. Well, if you want to replicate the Need for Speed sound in Forza Horizon 5, install the transmission with the most gears and you are done. You should now hear a noticeable difference in the sound of the car just by changing the transmission. Just a comparison, here's what the M3 GTR sounds like stock, and here's it with the new transmission. What a difference! Now sure, it still doesn't sound anywhere near as good as most Water 05, but you cannot deny that it sounds a million times better than stock. Now if you're a TDU fan or you like role-playing and cruising, then you would love to see indicators and hazards in Forza Horizon 5. Well, did you know that they're in the game already? Well, it's not true, they're not in the game already. But some cars do look like they have blinkers if you can learn to fake it. For example, with this old Holden Tirana, shifting into reverse illuminates its hazard lights, which is pretty cool if you ask me. Well, if you shift into reverse, then first, then reverse, then first in a regular pattern, it actually looks like the car has its hazards on, which is very cool and convincing to look at. So if you want to bamboozle your friends online with your hazard lights, then try this out and see how confused they get. Now, are you bored of playing Forza Horizon 5 the conventional way, of doing races and, just doing races? Well, thankfully I found a fun way to pass time in the game, which is by pranking people. So how exactly do you do this? Well, first of all, choose any car from your garage, preferably a rare or cool car. After you got your car, install the most expensive brake calipers you can find. Then in the tuning tab in the brakes, turn the braking force pressure all the way to 0. And then in the design section, keep the front and right hand side of the design stock, but mess around with the back and left hand front side of the car. Perhaps write a funny message or paint it a very weird colour. After you've done this, give this car to literally anybody. Attach a message, you can include your gamer tag or keep it anonymous if you want to be secretive about it. And this is what the player received in the car would see, which looks like a pretty ordinary Maserati Gran Turismo. But once they drive it, they'd realise that they are indeed pranked because the car has no brakes. This is a very fun and enjoyable way to ruin people's stays, so definitely give this one a shot. Now, sensor speed is a big problem in Forza Horizon games, as it's quite frankly terrible. When you drive fast, you don't feel like you're going fast, especially in the cockpit camera angle. Well, thankfully you can fix this by adjusting the field of view as wide as possible in the settings tab. This will therefore show more of the glass and the surrounding environment, meaning when you drive fast, you see the environment moving quicker, thus improving the sense of speed. Now, if you're confused about how this works, take a look at this video of a train cabin recorded with different fields of view. You can clearly see that the widest angle makes the train look like it's going the fastest, whilst the most zoomed in angle makes it look like it's going slow. Well, the same thing applies for cars. The widest FOV will make you feel like you're going the fastest. Now, I'm not too sure whether you can adjust this on consoles, but if you have a PC, I highly suggest making the FOV as wide as possible. Now, this is something you probably already know about, but it's worth mentioning in this video because it is pretty helpful. Because when you open your map, it would most likely look like this. A very cluttered mess which practically covers the whole of the map. You can't find any landmarks, the roads are covered, it's all just a massive cluttered mess. Well, if you go to the filter tab, then you can adjust what you want the map to show, making the map a whole lot neater. And this isn't just a one-time thing, it actually saves, which is very handy. So if you're sick to death of seeing this cluttered map which doesn't let you see anything, then adjust the map filter settings in the settings of the map filter settings. Map filter, I'm talking too much, what am I doing? Now, one of the most requested features that we all want to see in Forza Horizon games are of course interior modifications. We've seen this in games like Midnight Club, GTA 5, and even Gran Turismo 6, yet it's not seen in Forza Horizon 5. Or isn't it? Well, it turns out that you can kind of do interior modifications on your car depending on what car you're doing it on. For example, if you install police lights on the Ford Crown Victoria, inside you get a little handle for the spotlight. And on a lot of race cars, specifically the Formula Drift cars, changing the secondary paint of the car will completely repaint the interior, transforming the inside of the car. This also works with the McLaren Senna as well, except only the door's hydraulic arm changes colour. And on cars like the Plymouth Cuda, weight reduction actually gets rid of the passenger seat, which is very cool to see. Now, sure, these aren't new steering wheels, bucket seats or footwell lighting, but they do change the interior of the car, so they are technically interior modifications in my book. God, I hate driver tires. Now, you know how if you have a front-wheel drive car in Forza Horizon 5, you can either change it to rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive? Yep, I like that feature as well, it's a very nice feature. Now, have you ever wanted to see all these options for every car in the game, so you can make supercars front-wheel drive as well? Well, think no more, as you can actually do that in Forza Horizon 5. First of all, you need to find a car to convert to front-wheel drive. For example, I'll be choosing this Ferrari F12 TDF. Sorry Ferrari for doing this, please don't sue me, it's just a video. Now, of course, with the car being rear-wheel drive, we're gonna have to change it to all-wheel drive, so all of the power goes to each of the wheels. Then buy the race differential, then go into the tuning tab. Go all the way to the differential page, then send all the power to the front wheels by doing this, and you are done. You've now converted a Ferrari to front-wheel drive. Ferrari, if you're watching this again, please don't sue me. I'm literally broke, I can't pay anything, yeah. Anyways, this trick will only work on cars which are all-wheel drive or have an all-wheel drive swap available. So if you want to understeer in your super expensive supercar, then be my guest and try this out. Oh, would you look at that, you made it to the end of the video. Well, seeing as you got this far, make sure to subscribe. Only if you want to, but we are trying to hit 250k, so if you want to be a part of that journey, then help your boy out. Also turn on bell notifications. Thank you very much, I'd like to talk with you guys really soon. Until next time, have a good one guys, stay safe, stay inside, until next time. What's his outro? Cheers. My dinero's what I'm out to get. Sombrero, I get hat and then I'm out again. Got an A1 Chica with a drive like a 3 litre, that's what she needs D4 like that.